Hey, it's Rob with Phandroid.com. We're here at the HTC One M8 event, and we've got the HTC One M8 right here. We're going to get kind of a quick run through and overview of all the features.
Excellent, great. So the first thing I want you to take notice for with the HTC One M8 is just the design of the phone. We've taken a lot of what we learned from the original HTC One and refined the design. So you'll notice that the metal actually wraps from edge to edge, so giving it a very clean and unique look. We have multiple color options available. We have the iconic duo camera, making sure that you have the ability to take the best photos possible on a smartphone. And then our dual front-facing stereo speakers, which we call HTC Boom Sound. That's 25% louder than the original HTC One. Now on the device itself, one of the things that we've really done a great job with is HTC Blink Feed and bringing the information that's important to you directly to the forefront on your home screen. So as I slide through my home screen, I have access to my latest news and updates from the top sites that I'm following, along with my social network updates from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, and so on. So one of the things we're really excited about this phone is the duo camera, right? It's the first time a phone has a duo camera with our ultra pixel sensor, giving you the ability to capture those amazing photos. And we have a number of different features that allow you to take great effects, professional effects. So for example, if I go into my gallery, and I was doing a demo about our copy and paste feature, but one of the things I'll show you first is a few of our duo effects, the first being U-Focus. And it all very easy because of our duo camera. Once I take the photo, I can select edit. I have my duo effects here on the bottom. I tap U-Focus, and nearly instantly, my phone figures out who's important, right? Who's in the foreground, and really makes that dramatic effect. So I can see all the people in the foreground focus, making the entire background out of focus. Now this doesn't rely on any software algorithms, it's all based on the hardware. Our duo camera captures depth information. And I could refocus instantly as well. So let's say it's really the two gentlemen having lunch in the background that I want to focus on. I can tap on one of them, and it refocuses that photo to keep them in focus while everything else is a little bit blurry.
That's awesome.
Now that's just actually one of the effects. One of my favorite effects on this is called Foregrounder. And Foregrounder, we have 4 different options that you have. Colorize is the one that I like to show off most often. So you see it keeps the people that are again in your foreground that's important to you in color while making everything else black and white, really keeping it dramatic. And all done on the fly. I can tap different parts of the photo and do these different effects right here.
That's cool.
Another thing that was up when I actually opened up my camera here is this idea of copying and pasting. So for example, I'm going to take this photo here, and there's someone I want to add to this photo who's not here. If I tap on the photo, select edit, choose our copy and paste effect, and choose the image that I want to capture that someone from, that second person. So I'm going to choose this image. I'm going to tap on this person. Using that depth information actually figures out that that's the person I want to capture. It basically cuts a line around her perfectly. I select done, and I'll input her directly in the picture. From here, I can pinch and zoom to make her larger or smaller. So I'm gonna really drag her there, hit done, and then now it looks like she's in the picture.
That's pretty amazing. And that's a product of the 2 cameras as well?
Correct. And one of the ways that I like to explain that when you look at this is, you know, we were all born with 2 eyes. And the way we see as humans and capture information is that depth. So if you try and hold one hand over your eye for a few hours, you know, you start to lose that depth perception. Yeah. You go to reach for something and it's not there. The same thing applies. This duo camera, because it captures that depth information, really understands where one object is in relation to one another, giving you that almost 3D effect. And actually that's one of the features in here. One of the duo effects that you can use to kind of get that effect. If I choose Dimension Plus, capturing that duo information, if you notice, as I tilt the phone from side to side, it captures that different information to give you that 3D-like effect. And it even works better in certain images where you're taking pictures of objects. So I'm going to actually back out of here. I'll go back into my holiday album here, and I'll swipe over to bring up a picture of an object like this food here. So I've got food, I've got these roses. If I tap on edit, select Dimension Plus, and kind of move around, you really get to see kind of different perspectives of where that rose is in relation to everything else because it captures that information.
That's pretty cool.
So that's really what HTC really wanted to focus on, are things that people use on a daily basis, right? Innovate on features that customers love and enjoy, like the camera, right? Like the audio experience with the dual front-facing camera, the design. I mean, this phone is in your pocket every day, and you take it out. We've built this to inspire envy. So you pull out, people ask, oh, what phone is that? Right? So all of those great features in the camera.
So one of them that they were talking about in the presentation, the selfie a lot.
Correct.
Which is, it can unlock it from the lock screen, or?
Absolutely. So for example, let's say my phone is locked. Now this particular phone doesn't have a password on it, but even if it did have a password, I simply swipe up on the camera, it instantly makes the camera available. And the speed in which it does that actually comes from the fact that we have a dedicated processor, what we call HTC image chip, that handles all the processes of the camera itself. That's why it opens almost instantly. And then literally simply by flipping that over, it opens up the selfie camera.
What's going on?
From here, you can tap on the screen to count down. Again, flipping back instantly to the back camera to make sure you capture that perfect image.
And it's a 5 megapixel front camera, which is pretty damn good.
Absolutely. You know, people
2 years ago, the main camera was 5 megapixels.
Even before that VGA, you remember that low resolution?
It's crazy.
But you know, even beyond the 5 megapixel, one of the greatest things I really like about this selfie camera is this 88-degree ultra wide angle lens. So when you're capturing an image, you have almost the ability to capture an entire room, or I mean, you know, multiple people, a ton of people all at once. Where the traditional smartphone camera, the front-facing lens,
you need to squish together.
It's about 45 degrees. So when you think about a 45-degree angle like that, it's only capturing.
That's actually a pretty good-looking picture right there. What the heck is that?
With the lights right behind us, yeah.
That's awesome.
But the 88 degree, like I said, it's like holding your hands out, your arms out at 12 and 3 o'clock. You can capture a whole bunch of people in that same photo.
That's cool.
So again, the selfie photo is something that we've really made the ability to take great photos.
So it's 5 megapixel in the front. I mean, what's the rear camera? Is there megapixel? Is there a count on it, or is it more focus on the
ultra pixel?
On the ultra pixel.
So that's a question we get often, and the most interesting thing about ultra pixels, and one of the ways that I really like to describe it, is imagine you have a pair of cardboard glasses on your head, and those cardboard glasses have little pinholes in them. And that's what a megapixel camera provides, right? When you see those pixels, those individual pixels of the millions that the camera has, lets in a certain amount of light and data. The larger the pixel size, the more amount of light and data gets let into that image. So imagine those cardboard glasses now have bigger holes. You could see so much better out of those glasses because of that. The same thing applies here. Our pixel size is about double the average smartphone camera, which lets in up to 3 times the amount of light and data in that image. And that's where that ultra pixel idea comes from. That's that sensor. Megapixels, you know, they're really about printing an image, or how big you can print that image.
Yeah.
So we really wanted to ensure that you can take the highest quality images with that ultra pixel sensor.
And actually, can you show us that real quick?
Sure, absolutely. So what you're referring to here is the HTC Dot View case, which is a very, very small case. It really, really lightweight. You put it on the phone itself, it protects both the rear and the front of the phone. But the most interesting thing of this case is the way it provides you information. So as I close it, turn the phone on, you'll notice that I have the time, the weather alternating between current conditions and the current weather.
That's awesome.
Now, when I receive a phone call, I could interact with the phone by swiping down to pick up that call and talk right through the case. It'll show me notifications like when I have a new email. Instead of the weather, you'll have an envelope. If I have a missed call, it'll show the missed call icon, so on and so forth. Really giving you a retro look to bring you information without detracting from the appearance of the case.
It's crazy. It's such a simple idea, but it so works.
Exactly.
And what's that called? The
Dot View.
The Dot View. And that'll be available when the phone's available, today or tomorrow?
Exactly, correct.
Okay, awesome. I don't know if I have any more questions. A couple other, it's a 5-inch screen, right? HD, 1080p.
Yes.
2 gigs RAM. It's a quad-core processor. There is on the side, that's the micro SD
That's
slot,
the micro
right?
SD card slot. So all the North American models of the HTC One M8 will be 32 gigs of onboard storage. And our micro SD card slot we added based on consumer feedback. One of the things we heard loud and clear with the original HTC One is consumers still wanted expandable memory. We added that memory slot, and it supports micro SD cards up to 128 gigs.
That's what I have in here now, micro SD up to 128. It's crazy. That's awesome. I don't think I have any questions at the moment. I know there's a ton of software stuff, but there's so much to go into that it's like you need a full review to to even like reach the topic, but
no, absolutely. You know, one of the things that is really important to me, if I may, is HTC Sense 6. This is our latest version of HTC Sense, and we've refined it to be very simplistic and intuitive for users. But one of the things that I really love showcasing is blink feed and getting that information. Where, you know, one of the things that we learned was consumers take your phone out of your pocket 150 times a day on average, whether you look at the time or weather, and you're digging through all these applications. You know, you open up your phone, then you open up Facebook, and you dig through your news feed, or you open up the web browser and kind of read the news. Blink feed brings all that information to the forefront, so you don't have to do that digging. It's very an intuitive way to customize, and you can customize this to show the information that you specifically want, whether it's sports or technology news or politics. It'll actually, if you log into Facebook or Google+, give you the option to take that information and build your blink feed automatically based on your likes.
And I think one thing actually now they mentioned is giving developers access to APIs. I think for blink feed and some of the camera stuff as well. So that'll be interesting to see what developers do with it.
Absolutely.
But awesome. Well, that's a quick look at the HTC One M8 from the HTC event in New York City. Thanks for that awesome overview. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Have
Thank
a
you.
good one.